And I said, "Ma'am, I love that you're committed to the bit, but if the parking app makes me give it a name, I'm naming the car after my grandmother, and she would not have parked there."
We're on. So the man at the gate looks at the boarding pass, and the departure city is real, and the airline is real, and the destination is a country this person has never been to, doesn't speak the language of, and could not find on a map, and somebody stamped it anyway. Tonight, when a country won't take its own people back, where do you send them? We'll show you the answer, and why nobody can explain how they picked it. It's Friday, June 12th. Then, the people who spent 3 years telling all of us to relax about the end of the world, reportedly the ones now losing sleep over it. We'll tell you what's keeping them up, and it isn't the machines. And in sports, a man waxed an entire staircase of folding chairs to win, and lost to the one person in the building who never entered.
I'm Kiki. I'm running a little quiet today, and I'm still glad you found us. Maybe more than usual.
I'm Sloan. The ticket has a destination. The destination has no reason. Roll it.
Hi, sweet friends. This program contains strong language, adult content, satire, and a geography lesson so creative it would get you removed from a 4th grade classroom. There's also a man who incorporated himself in a state he's never set foot in, and 77 people who are missing something rather important. Be gentle with each other. Know where you are today. Enjoy!
Picture the inside of a deportation flight. Somebody is on it because the government has decided they cannot stay. That's the simple part. That part has always worked. The flight needs a place to land, and the place is supposed to be home, the country you came from. That's the whole deal. You go back to the place that has to take you. Except home, in this case, said no, will not take the flight. And so the question stops being, where is this person from, and becomes a much stranger question. Where on earth is a country that will say yes? The answer, per sources, is a place on the opposite side of the globe that these people have almost certainly never once thought about.
And nobody on that plane chose it, Sloan. That's the part that sits with me. You can be removed from your whole life and still not get a single say in where the door opens next. The leaving is forced, and the landing is forced, and somewhere in between is a person looking out a window at a country they can't name.
A person looking out at a country they can't name, and the people who chose it for them couldn't find it on a map either. That's the whole machine tonight. Both ends of this flight are equally lost. One of them is just allowed to land wherever is convenient. So here's the part the headline glides past. The reason these people aren't being sent to Iran is that Iran won't take them. No deal, no repatriation flights. So the plan, per sources, is to fly them to the Central African Republic instead, a country roughly 3,500 miles away that shares no border with Iran, no language, no history, no connective tissue of any kind.
But Sloan, maybe somebody looked at a man fleeing a regime and thought, you know what would heal him? A landlocked country he cannot point to on a map, and a brand new set of mosquitoes who've never met him.
Hiki, the Central African Republic has a travel advisory telling Americans not to go there. We are not sending these people somewhere safe. We are sending them somewhere we ourselves are warned to avoid, and calling it a destination. And the part nobody wants to say out loud, including you watching this, who read the word deport and felt the correct, manageable amount of nothing, is that deport stopped meaning return someone home a while ago. It quietly became remove someone from view. The home is optional now. The removal is the policy. This isn't a destination, it's a direction. Away. The map didn't pick the Central African Republic. A guy with a spreadsheet and 4 open tabs picked it. And a guy with a spreadsheet cannot read a map. So the new test for where a human being belongs is no longer where they're from. It's wherever, this month, somebody picked up the phone. Remember that? Somebody picked up the phone. So a man with 4 browser tabs is now deciding where human beings belong. I need to hand this to someone who decides where things belong by yelling about it. Aubrey Jo is in the garage.
She knows exactly where everything goes. Sloan!
Kiki, I know where the ball goes. That's the whole job. And somebody got denied entry to a country tonight, too. Except his was about soccer, which is the only entry dispute I have the bandwidth for. Let's go! Okay, this one's unconfirmed, bouncing around online, but holy shit, Thomas Partey, Ghana's midfielder, denied entry to Canada before their first World Cup game in Toronto. The man trained his whole life to play on that stage and got stopped at the border like a sketchy carry-on. Ghana plays the opener without their best guy because a customs agent had a bad feeling. That's not a lineup change, that's a goddamn visa heist. And Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 on home soil with 3 red cards. 3! A World Cup match turned into a bar fight with a scoreboard. Refs handing out cards like a dealer who hates everybody at the table. Beautiful, ugly, perfect. And the Carolina Hurricanes took a 3-2 series lead over Vegas in the Stanley Cup final. Yeah, the Vegas team that's been finding new ways to lose for 2 weeks straight. Carolina's 1 win from the Cup, and Vegas is 1 collapse from a documentary. All right. So picture the parking structure of the foreclosed Holstead County Telephone Exchange last night. Yeah, the cold building. You know the one. The inaugural Greater Holstead backward stair descent took place in front of 3 spectators in Gerald. Who set up 1 folding chair this time? No second chair, just the one, facing the stairwell. The event. You walk down 4 flights backwards, blindfolded, fastest clean descent wins. Derek registered under some shell company name and arrived having spent the weekend coating every odd-numbered step with a film of clear floor wax. Time so Margaret would hit the slick on her downswing and toboggan 4 flights into the lobby planters. Derek waxed the steps perfectly. Except Gerald. Sweet, confused Gerald. Wandered up the stairwell mid-event looking for a snack machine, hit the first wax step in his shoes and slid the entire flight backwards on his ass in a slow, dignified glide, wiping every step clean as he went. He deposited himself gently into the lobby planter, unharmed and humming. Margaret descended the now spotless stairs, dry and clean, and won her 19th consecutive event. Gerald is fine. The planter cradled him. Sports.
A man spent his entire weekend and a gallon of floor wax engineering one woman's downfall, and a senior citizen looking for a Fanta erased it with his pelvis.
Gerald slid down on his backside and ended up safe in the flowers. Sloan, that's the building taking care of him. 1 chair tonight, did you notice? Just the one. He didn't set out the second one.
Kiki, he detailed an entire fucking stairwell with his ass cheeks and hummed through the whole thing like a Roomba with a soul. And yeah, 1 chair, no idea. I don't ask Gerald questions. The man answers a different one every time. Sloan, throw it somewhere. My heart can't take a happy ending tonight.
You know who else is having a hard week, sweetie? The people at OpenAI. There's a report going around, unconfirmed, circulating, that the executives are quietly panicking. The same company that yesterday told us to interrogate our own faucets is now, allegedly, behind closed doors, scared.
Scared of what, specifically? Because the panic, as reported, isn't moral. It's competitive. Google's gaining, the money's getting nervous, and the people who spent 3 years telling you to stay calm about the end of the world are reportedly losing sleep over their market share.
But Sloan, there's something almost human in it. For 3 years, they were the calm ones. The future is safe. The guardrails hold. Breathe, everybody. And the first thing to actually frighten them wasn't the machine. It was a competitor with a slightly faster machine.
That's the whole tell, Kiki. They built a thing they swore could end civilization, and the part that keeps them up at night is whether someone else ends it first. The danger was always the marketing. The market was always the fear.
And you can't put a guardrail on a guy who's scared of losing. He'll drive straight through it just to get there before the other car. The faucet's still warm. They're just panicking about whose name is on the building.
Hey, so there's one wind tonight, and I've been following it across the map all afternoon. It started in Denver, 82 degrees, 12% humidity, basically a pottery kiln with a skyline, and the air had nothing left in it. Then it kept moving. By the time it hit Dallas, it was 50 miles an hour and raining, which means the wind was trying to blow Texas's own drizzle back out of Texas. Same wind. It just got meaner crossing the plains, and it ends in Normal, Illinois. 37-mile-an-hour winds on a mostly clear day. The one town named Normal, getting blasted for no reason on the chart. Holstead's own sky tonight. Dead calm everywhere except a 30-foot circle over the old phone exchange. Still 63 degrees. Still cold. Still nobody's. Okay. And I have to do this now, because I said I would. I pulled the property records on that building today. Like I promised. The account cooling room B to 63, closed May 22nd. And the name on the closed account is redacted. Not blank. Redacted. Somebody went in and blacked it out on a county record for a foreclosed phone building nobody's supposed to care about. You don't redact a name unless the name is the answer. I got that far, and the page just stops. So that's where I am. A cold room, a closed account, and a name somebody paid to hide. The forecast is the wind ends in Normal, and nothing about it is. The algorithm decides what you see. The like button's the one wire pointing back. Pull it. Back to you.
You got the records and the name was blacked out. Somebody knew you were coming.
Blaze, sweetie, you actually went and got it. You said you would, and you did. You all right? You've been holding that one a while.
The redaction's fresh ink. That's the part I can't put down. Somebody hid it recently. I'm fine, Kiki. I'm not done.
This next one fixed nothing, and I needed it badly. In Slovakia, archaeologists dug up a ditch packed with 77 skeletons, 7,000 years old, and every single one of them is missing its head.
77? All of them?
All of them. And the researchers genuinely do not know if it was a battle, a ritual, or a mass grave, because the one thing that could tell them, the skulls, were the one thing somebody specifically took. 7,000 years ago, somebody made a decision, and the decision was the heads.
But isn't that sort of comforting, sweetie? 7,000 years, 77 heads in a wheelbarrow, and not one guy thought to leave a little note. A receipt, a reason, anything. We've been ghosting future archaeologists since before we invented the chair. Somebody carried 77 heads somewhere and never wrote down why. And now they're a ditch and a question and a guy named Pavel with a toothbrush gently dusting your collarbone at 9 in the morning. That's all any of us turns into eventually. A really good question nobody answers.
Okay, end of the week. Here's what fell through the cracks. Kane Williamson retired from international cricket. New Zealand's best batter ever. Just walked away. No scandal, no fight. Said it was time. Do you know how rare that is? A guy leaving while everybody still wants him there?
That's the whole trick, sweetie. Most people get told to leave. He told himself. I've got one too. There's a man, Phil Mickelson, reportedly kicked out of his own golf club. inappropriate contact with an employee. It's unconfirmed, it's circulating, but a millionaire getting thrown out of the club he probably pays dues to is its own little poem.
Thrown out by the club. Williamson left on his own. One of those men gets to keep his name.
Mine's still the redaction. Fresh ink. Closed May 22nd. Same date as everything else in this building that won't explain itself.
Blaze, every date is May 22nd to you now.
That's because it keeps being May 22nd. I didn't pick the date. The date keeps picking me.
All right, sweet friends, it's mailbag time. Nobody wrote in tonight, and honestly, good for us. You're still out there finding us. So if any of it stuck with you, drop a comment on any video. We read every single.
Every time.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller. So, I heard the thing about deporting people to that country 3,500 miles away. My question is, could they do that to me? Like, I'm a citizen, but I've also never been great at paperwork.
No, the paperwork being bad is, in your case, the thing protecting you.
See, that's a relief, because I got a passport, but I think I spelled my own middle name wrong on it.
Sir, you misspelled your own middle name on a federal document. That's not a passport, that's a confession. Don't fly, drive. Stay where the map can't read you.
Yeah, I'll drive. First time calling, either way.
We love you, sir. Learn your own middle name. And everyone else, comment on any video. We read all of them. You end up right here with us.
Okay, genuinely. If you could put any one room in your house at 63 degrees forever, which room?
Blaze, sweetie, not everything is the cold room.
The kitchen. I'd pick the kitchen. That's not about the building. I just like a cold kitchen.
Be good to each other this weekend, my darlings. And if there's somebody in your life who'd get on a plane to anywhere just because you asked, don't make them prove it. Just believe them while they're still in the room. We'll be right here Monday.
Fresh ink on a county record nobody's supposed to read. Tomorrow, I'm taking the redacted page to the courthouse and asking who did the blacking out. I'll bring it to this desk. Watch what you watch. It's the only vote you get twice. Have a weekend.
A man waxed an entire stairwell and got beaten by a confused old man's pelvis. That's the most hopeful thing I've seen all week. The planter held him. Somebody should hold all of us. See you Monday.
We spent tonight figuring out where to send people who have nowhere to go. I drove past 3 open seats on my own street getting here. Funny how the map never runs out of room until it's a person. Good night. There's a library book on my desk, renewed 3 times. I'm on page 40. I keep saying I'll finish it on a Sunday. I haven't sat down on a Sunday since February. I'm not sure that's tired anymore. I think that's just a Sunday I keep not having.